Welcome to today's live webinar titled 9 Ways You Can Build Effective Mobile Email Marketing Campaigns. Today's program is sponsored and presented to you by Movable Ink. There will be a question and answer session at the conclusion of today's program. To provide feedback on today's live webinar, you can access the survey tab in the presentation tool at the end of the program. The survey will also be emailed to you following today's program. If you need operator assistance during the call, please press star then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the call over to your host, Blaze Lucy. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Yolanda. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining 9 Ways You Can Build Effective Mobile Email Marketing Campaigns. Today we're going to talk about what mobile email is today and how you can build even more effective mobile email marketing campaigns in the future. The speakers today are Vivek Sharma, co-founder and CEO of Movable Ink, and Mike Dietz, solutions consultant at Movable Ink. We're going to start with a discussion about why mobile email isn't just about design and talk about how contextual marketing can get involved in email, and then we'll conclude with next steps. You can always join the conversation by tweeting at Movable Ink with the hashtag mobile email. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Vivek Sharma. Vivek?
Thanks for that, Blaze. Today the subject of our webinar is about mobile emails, and your customers tend to constantly be on the move, and you can no longer expect them to be on the same device, to be on their desktop, and we think a lot about mobility here at Movable Ink. When we think about making a mobile email, we usually think about responsive design. Companies know that it's imperative that the emails display properly on mobile devices. You don't want to get a sale to get cut off in a mobile inbox, and you definitely don't want customers deleting your email because the text is too small to read. But a truly mobile email means a lot more than just what an email looks like. Truly mobile emails have to be responsive to both the customer's device and customer context. Think about it. Every day, customers are checking their emails on their phones, but they're constantly on the go and constantly switching devices. Mobile is a catch-all term. A phone experience is different from a tablet experience, and that's totally different from a wearable experience. That all might be mobile, but the form of the device and the frame of mind when customers are using it is all different. Your emails are being read in line at the grocery store, on the bus, on the subway, and even in your store. They're being read during a morning jog or at night, during a TV commercial. Our phones have become tools to help and enhance our busy lifestyles. Email has to do the same. But right now, most mobile emails are constantly taking customers out of context by treating them like they're sitting at their computer at home. Digital marketing in general keeps taking customers out of context, and it's costing customer trust. The problem is that the mass media, mass audience approach to marketing just doesn't work anymore. Digital marketers have it especially tough. 55% of visitors spend fewer than 15 seconds on your website. That's about enough time to scroll up, scroll down, and then decide to go to YouTube and watch videos of puppies instead. We're seeing a big case of inbox blindness. 78% of customers don't trust emails from companies, and again, this is because so many emails are taking customers out of context. Trust in digital marketing is broken. Contextual marketing works to regain that trust by providing utility, enhancing the customer experience, and increasing engagement. That's a lot different than how we traditionally think of marketing. But as digital tools have evolved, marketing has been evolving from a static, mass-targeting approach to real-time context. Real-time context can ensure that your emails respond to what your customers need in the moment, wherever, whenever, and however they open those emails. But this is all really easy to say. What do contextual relevant emails really look like? Mike Dietz is going to take us through some examples of companies who have gone beyond mobile design and start thinking about creating contextually relevant emails that will always offer fresh, personalized content whenever, wherever, and however subscribers open. Mike?
Thanks, Vivek. So as we've discussed, contextual mobile emails have taken into account a customer's context. That means including ways to make the email feel more personalized and relevant. Contextual mobile emails can include a number of different elements. We've decided to showcase 9 for you today: responsive design, location, weather targeting, apps, optimization, inventory, time, personalization, device, and real-time content data analytics. So everyone knows that the fundamental element for a great mobile email is design. If users have to pinch at their screens just to click a link, they're more likely to give up and just delete that email entirely. But how can you really create emails that are fully optimized for mobile? The answer is that you have to design emails that can change with each device. Truly, the responsive design will change content depending on the device type so that mobile users have a seamless experience when trying to interact with the email. Here, Bass Pro Shops ensured that the Shop All button was positioned a little differently in mobile emails, making it easier for users to click through. That resulted in a 28% increase in mobile click-throughs. Location is really important. Users are constantly on the go when they're checking their mobile emails. So if they're checking their inbox, shouldn't your emails help them find their way? Excentis, a financial services company, decided to do that by embedding a local map that showed the nearest location where users could redeem their rewards points. This kind of mobile email transforms the customer relationship with email by turning it into a useful tool for their personal needs. Weather can be another highly relevant factor in how customers react to your emails. If it's snowing outside, that's going to impact what your customers are doing. In this case, mobile emails offer a huge advantage in knowing what customers really need. By detecting the local weather forecast for the device, mobile emails can offer weather-relevant content. Retailers can offer different items based on the weather, customizing for the cold, the warmth, and all in real time. Or like Nickelodeon, businesses can offer weather-relevant content that creates a great user experience. During Snowstorm Juno, Nickelodeon's email changed according to the weather, creating a contextually relevant message around whether or not there was snow in the forecast. The apps are on the minds of a lot of marketers, but getting people to download them can be tough. Marketers can solve that by creating different email content for each device. Through the device targeting, American Eagle offered an app download as the front and center hero image when the emails were opened on mobile devices. The result? By making it easy to download the app, American Eagle saw a 231% increase in mobile app downloads. So to be really contextual, mobile emails have to be optimized, ensuring that a user experience that's seamless from start to finish. In this example, Alan Edmonds decided to ensure that mobile emails were optimized as possible by A/B testing 2 different types of creative in real time. When the company discovered that option A was outperforming option B by 114%, all the email content changed in real time to provide the users with the superior mobile experience. All right, now let's think about how many times you're reaching into your pocket to check your flight status. These emails that are going to be open no matter what you're doing or where you are, that means that the content should also be as relevant and as real-time as possible. One major airline did this by listing the available seats and allowing users to upgrade directly from the email. For mobile users, this prevents a break in user experience by taking customers to a website or app. Instead, they could select the seats directly from their inbox. This led to a $1 million increase in incremental revenue. Real-time inventory can also show customers what products are like in stock, even the specifics like shoe sizes or latest sale items. Time is always of the essence when you're emailing customers, especially when there are deals that run out after a certain duration. Mobile customers might be checking their emails at odd times and see a sale that's interesting, but wait until they get home to actually make that purchase. But at what point if the sale is over? Real-time dynamic content in emails means that companies can ensure that there's another equally compelling message to drive traffic when a recipient opens that same email later on. Personalization is one of the most fundamental elements of contextual marketing, and for mobile, it can really help create a relationship between brands and customers that build loyalty. Starbucks recently launched an email to loyalty customers that was personalized with their name written on the cup. This can be especially effective on mobile because people are already on the go. If they open a personalized email that helps them visualize the purchase as they're walking by the store, this can lead to increases in engagement across both social, media, and emails. So finally, the foundation of all these effective mobile emails is data analytics. To really create the best possible emails for mobile customers, businesses need to access comprehensive analytics that show which devices are being opened to use the emails, how long the customers are reading the emails, and what different types of behaviors are displayed on different devices. This helps you create future email campaigns because with device targeting and dynamic content, you can create emails that don't just respond to the needs of mobile or desktop users, but specific devices too. And with that, I'll pass it back to Vivek.
Hey, thanks for that, Mike. A lot of what Mike just shared might look really hard, but mobile emails that respond to customer context don't require you to bridge different silos, consolidate different databases, or even switch email service providers. Without any major new investments or overhauls, you can overcome the 4 key challenges that email marketers face today. We talked to lots of our customers, and these are the key pillars that tend to recur over and over. They have some real personalization challenges in terms of repurposing live and highly personalized web content into the email channel. They certainly struggle with automating some of that content production, although many of these companies have huge swaths of this content sitting in different places. This also lessens the load on the marketing department. The next pillar is around optimization. Companies struggle to test while a campaign is still running. Often there are heated debates within an email marketing department about which creative is going to perform better, or is one offer or another product hero going to work more effectively. Why have these debates when your audience can tell you and let you automatically select creative that is the most effective and the highest performing? And lastly, a pillar around innovation. There's something about creating a magical experience in the inbox. And interesting elements, things like using local maps in an email campaign or time-based promotions and on, can really help create a unique experience for your customers and take them out of their usual context. So how can you start creating contextually relevant emails? It starts with a very basic philosophy. Mobile emails need to respond not to what a device needs, but what a customer needs. Then, with the right platform, mobile email can build customer experiences instead of marketing campaigns. This is the year to start thinking about what mobile really means. Every device is going to mean different customer needs and behaviors. The Apple Watch, to take one example, is just the tip of the iceberg in the coming years. We're going to see an explosion of wearables and connected devices. What is your email going to look like on a watch, or on a TV, or a coffee machine? Most importantly, what are your customers going to need from it at that time? Contextual marketing allows brands and customers to interact in new, exciting ways, and for the first time, marketing won't be interrupting a customer's experience, it will be adding to it. At this point, I'd love to turn it back over to Blaze.
Thank you, Vivek, and thanks, Mike. That was a great presentation. If anyone has any questions, and we do see some questions coming in, we'd love to hear from you. Any thoughts about mobile email strategy, what you're doing currently, how you can improve on that strategy? We'd really just open up the floor here. We will be sending the recording and the slides to everyone who is registered within the next few days. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email contact@movableinc or visit us at www.movableinc.com. So with that, I think we'll turn it over to the questions. Yolanda?
Thank you. We have a question here. What's the difference between contextual marketing and personalization?
This is Vivek here. We get this question a lot, and it's easy to have a jaded view and feel there's yet another marketing buzzword. But the reality is most personalization today relies on data that might be fairly old, and data has a very short shelf life. If you think of things like user intent and recent site behavior, simply being able to access recent interactions with a brand and being able to bring that in real time into an email can be major challenges for larger companies. But going one step beyond that, it is really hard to predict when your customers are moving between different devices, between different times of day, even different contexts of engagement. When they're more receptive to maybe a shopping experience on a desktop versus a more single-serving or a more targeted experience where on an iPhone, for example, they may do better engaging with social media. So many of these contextual signals only occur in the moment, and in the past it's been impossible to tailor the experience or the content to those contextual signals. So this is a big opportunity for marketers today, and you're going to be hearing about this a lot more in 2015, and software is really going to help deliver those more contextual experiences.
Our next question, how can context help emails become more mobile optimized?
Sure, and I just alluded to this briefly, but to be more specific, people are moving through different devices throughout the day. It turns out that your email client is actually the most used mobile application for vast numbers of people. And so think about your morning experience where you pop out of bed and email is probably one of the first things that you're checking and making sure you've got a sense of what your day might look like. So you're rushed and you're heading to the office on your iPhone. You're in a different frame of mind. Later on during your lunch break, it might be a desktop type experience. So in the past, it has required you to effectively write code, things like media queries and code for many different types of experiences. One of the great tools we offer our customers is actually that ability to automate the mobile experience. And this is a set of tools that allows you to go straight from a creative, like a Photoshop file, straight to fully responsive, media query supported, email compliant HTML. And so this used to be a very kind of specialized skill set, and many marketing departments didn't have the bandwidth to produce multiple versions. But we've actually gotten to the state in software where much of this can be automated, and you can create a very different experience on an iPhone or a tablet or a desktop without having to do additional work.
Our next question, do you have to switch email service providers to start creating contextual emails?
No, one of the great things is this is all based on standards. These are HTML standards. These are the things that your most email clients, nearly all of them, support that lowest common denominator of email HTML and CSS and images. The ESP is a delivery mechanism, so it's very easy to set up your contextual rules, pull live content, pull in social media, and the only deliverable to you, and the only thing you have to carry over to the ESP is a block of HTML. So whether you're using something like an Experian or a Salesforce Marketing Cloud or a MailChimp, it works just the same.
So you kind of touched on this before, does optimizing an email for responsive design require coding for each email, a template that can be updated, or a full-time email coder?
So to kind of go back to that earlier question, it doesn't require an email coder. It's interesting if you have one, and there's certainly responsive code that can be generated from a platform like Movable Ink, where you don't have to do that coding work, and the template that is generated can adapt to a phone, a mobile phone, a tablet, or a desktop, and even go a step further and device target very specific devices, knowing that you're on an Android phone or an iPhone or a newer Android phone, and be able to change up that context and even detect the email client, for example. So these signals, it's easy enough for a marketer to set up the business rules around this without having to go and write code.
And while we're on that question, why don't we move to this one? How do you build an email that's sized correctly for handheld to avoid the need to pinch, and what are the standards for font sizes, types, etc. that are ideal for handheld?
Sure. So I can take this one. Usually we recommend to subscribers or customers out there, you don't want to go really larger than 600 pixels wide for the most part. Once you start to go out of that realm, then you're going to have to, deal with the different zooming in and whatnot. Certain also design specs that are kind of, accepted amongst, mobile optimized templates out there. Obviously, you want to make sure that any font in your email is going to be, at least 14 points or above. You want to make sure that there's a clear buffer around all CTAs so that, it'll prevent fat fingering. You want to, I think the general accepted rule there is about 44 pixels around each button. And then, there's kind of two different ways that you can look at this too. You can design responsibly, which will adapt to the user's screen size. So, have one that'll be around like 600 pixels wide, then maybe have another one that's around 380. Or you could just go with a straight mobile optimized template that's going to look good on both desktop and mobile.
Yeah, I'll add one thing to that, and it's great to think about the post-click experience and how that might differ for someone on an iPhone, for example, versus someone on a desktop. Given you have more of their attention on a desktop, it makes a lot of sense if you're an online retailer to get someone to your website and have them browse your site and transact there. But if someone's rushed on their way to work on an iPhone and opens up that email, this could be a lost opportunity because this just ends up being a major conversion obstacle where people aren't really willing to navigate to a website, enter their credit card information, and jump through all the hoops necessary to place an order. You might decide in a case like that to get some sort of social engagement instead. Have someone like your Facebook page or follow you on Instagram or post something on Twitter. So even thinking about that post-click experience and making that different for the mobile user versus the desktop user is an important part of that strategy.
Thanks. The next question is there a day or a time that gets the most open?
Yes, Tuesday at 10 a.m. is statistically proven to be the best time forever to send emails. I'm joking, of course, and this is one of those questions that repeatedly comes up within any email marketing team. The important thing to really think about here is that whatever that time ends up being, it's constantly on the move because marketers have heard an anecdote or a story somewhere, and they all tend to kind of do some of the same things. In today's world, with people changing up devices, it's impossible to predict that they are going to be at a certain place or on a certain device or at a certain time. So certainly play with the send times of your email, but even newer advances in things like Gmail, like the promotions tab, we've observed there's some time shifting of behavior where people may have opened an email immediately, but these promotional emails are getting opened at a later point when people are ready to think about all of the commercial emails that they're getting. So the point of all of this is there's no reliability or there's no perfect day or time to send emails. You have to think about being relevant to them when you get that open. That's a hard-fought battle to even get that open and make sure that the content is highly contextualized, adapts to different devices, and that it is not stale, that those offers are still valid.
Great. The next question is, do we have any tips or advice for emails that are asking for donations? This person is currently using a Donate Now button in their emails.
Well, we work with nonprofits as well, and so anything from a commerce brand to social media companies to nonprofits that take donation. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a specific recommendation, but this is a conversion action, and it's important that you get people to click and engage with that first message and make it as relevant as possible. We've had some companies, for example, show the amount that has been donated so far and how close you are to a goal. So kind of pairing that with a very clear call to action and showing that what an impact that donation may have when it's paired with the right kind of live content has proven to be effective for certain types of brands. So that's a tactic we can definitely advise might be pretty effective for your program as well.
And in our next question, so let's take a step back and talk about B2B contextual marketing and how would we make the case for email versus other online engagement and programs such as SEO, AdWords, SEM.
Yeah, as B2B marketers ourselves, we look at a lot of data and we think about lots of different channels, and email happens to be a fantastic channel for us to nurture our prospective accounts, talk to them, really understand what they're engaging with and what interests them. Depending on the type of B2B program, if this is something that's supposed to be seem like it's from a salesperson and feel very short and natural, and you're using a platform like a Marketo or an Eloqua, there's nothing preventing you from using live content in that email, and if it supports the message and you're able to deliver some contextual content, use it by all means. Certainly we've found that B2C brands tend to use a lot more creative and probably have some more versatility in the types of tools and the types of tactics that they can bring to bear. But if you've got a newsletter, a B2B newsletter, and you can contextualize some of that content, if you can show off some engagement, for example, even getting people to sign up to a webinar and showing how many people have registered to attend so far, there's signals you can use around creating social proof and providing that sense of urgency. But there's probably some fewer tactics simply because of the amount of imagery that is typical in a B2B email.
And then just going off that, another question we have, are there any practices or tips that are more applicable for B2B versus B2C? So we kind of just touched on that, but if you have any other comments.
Yes. So, for us, if it seems like that marketing is from an individual, being very pithy, keeping it short, keeping it very conversational, feels like the most effective and authentic way. And in many cases, imagery may not be a part of that. You're probably interested in tracking some of the results of those programs and using some type of engagement tracker, even looking at metrics like read length on an email campaign. And we do have some tracking pixels that help you get some of those that data and some of those analytics. But really thinking about what is the strategy and what would the recipient of that most likely engage with. And if it's meant to be a conversational one-to-one feeling communication, imagery may not play as much of a part of that. But if there is something to a larger audience, as a B2B brand, we have an email newsletter. We send that out. Many tools and tactics that you can use that may intersect with what B2C marketers are doing as well.
And I think we can cover the next two questions together. So can we just talk a little bit more about movable ink and how we use that to build emails and the pricing of the product?
Sure. So we've got a workflow component of the platform that allows you to automate that process of going from concept to code. And so you can have your design team create a Photoshop file, actually automate that and insert some slice marks and build fully responsive email templates in just minutes. And we talk to our customers, and it's taken them anywhere from 4 to 8 hours to build each new email template. So they're seeing some great workflow efficiencies by using tools like this. In terms of pricing, Mike, do you want to address that?
All of your money. Kidding, of course. No, in terms of pricing, So the workflow component that Vivek was actually just talking about is included with any software license that you do purchase from Movable Ink. You can create infinite number of templates. That goes the same for our reporting. So all those real-time data analytics that I covered a little bit earlier are also going to be included for you free of charge. Movable Ink's pricing structure really comes into play when we start powering the different dynamic content blocks and elements within your email. We typically charge on a per open basis, and it's really going to come down to how many emails are you looking to include us in, and your list size, average open rate, and if you are interested in further pricing exploration, definitely give us a call, and we can set you up with a sales rep that would be more than happy to kind of walk you through our various different tiers.
Great. And then, is it better to optimize with mobile in mind?
I would say yes. It's kind of a general trend, given that our quarterly device report, I mean, we're seeing anywhere from 47 to 65% opens now on mobile devices. So it's time to start thinking mobile first. Anything you want to add?
This is one I'll actually disagree with Mike on. Although we see far more mobile opens, most transactions, most e-commerce transactions tend to happen on the desktop. And that simply has to do with that ease of experience post-click where people are able to browse very easily and make a purchase. Now this is true of an e-commerce brand. If you're a publisher or if you've got another type of company, perhaps that mobile engagement is totally valid, and in that case I would say think mobile first. But the important point is you don't need to think about mobile only or desktop only. You can think contextual in this new world where you can provide the best experience for your mobile user, for your tablet user, and your desktop user. And it's not one size fits all. You can optimize that experience for each user and each device.
Great. And our next question talks about segmentation. So maybe Mike, you can answer this. How can you segment your emails based on device? In other words, how can you make your email auto-detect the device?
Sure. So one of Mobile Link's key components is we have the ability to detect what device you're opening up on. How exactly that goes into effect, I mean, we really can't say. It's kind of like sharing trade secrets, but for the most part, so you can go into our platform, set up business rules to say, all right, anybody that's going to open up this email on an iPhone, show them this content, versus anybody opening up on, let's just say an Android, show them content B, versus anybody opening up on a desktop, show them content C. So it's all built right into the platform, very, very easy to use, and anything else you want to add?
Yeah, the important thing that you don't need an engineer to go do this and put these rules in place. A marketing manager can jump in very easily and in a very elegant user interface start to apply these rules and decide what content shows up under one of these different contexts. So that ease of use, the ability to jump in there very easily and create different experiences, that's front of mind for us at Movable Ink.
Great. And our next question, do you have any recommendations to build contextual mobile emails from membership marketing campaigns?
I would say for membership ones, I mean, if you do have rewards points balance as a field that you keep track of, we can display that in real time. So rather than having to wait for a monthly statement, why not try to include that into every email as like a header or somewhere in the footer, and we can dynamically update that as those points change. We can even set it up so that there's a chart in your email that'll kind of show you your progress as you get towards certain items that you guys give away for particular point balance accumulations.
Great. And our last question, what are some good recommendations for mobile email marketing standard resources? Do we have anything on our website that we'll typically share? So I'll go ahead and jump in here, and you can go to movableink.com, and we have a resources tab. It's just movableink.com/resources, and we have a bunch of different ebooks, webinar recordings, lookbooks with examples from existing clients. We have our U.S. consumer device report that shows mobile trends, desktop trends, and how consumers are using their devices to open emails. So all of that is on our website, so feel free to check that out.
All right, and I think that takes care of it for questions, unless we have any last-minute questions from the audience. Okay, and we'll be wrapping it up. Thanks again, everyone, for attending, and please visit movableink.com for more information. Thank you.
Thank you. If you enjoyed today's program and would like more information from Movable Ink, please call 1-800-270-6033 or email contact@movableink.com.